Yes, dear participants, very good evening. Am I audible? Hope am I audible? Yes. So very good evening. Welcoming you all for the eighth day International Research Methodology Workshop on citation practices, patents, intellectual property rights, and proposal writing. And this is the eighth day. And today we have another resource person to talk on the given topic. And I welcome you all uh, on behalf of Integrated Institute of Disaster Management, IIDM, Islamic State University of Madrasa, Indonesia, and all the colleges, all the sociology departments of all the collaborating institutions, and all the coordinators of this beautiful institution to collaborate for this international research methodology workshop. And today is our eighth day. Today, resource person, a legend from another field. And this time, since it's a multidisciplinary approach, we have taken another expert in the field of criminology and forensic science. She is none other than Dr. Janaki MC, and she is working as an associate professor and head of the department, and she's working as an associate professor in the Department of Forensic Science, Kalasalingam Academical Research and Education, deemed to be University, Virudhunagar, Tamil Nadu. And she has been done with a lot of awards and achievements. He has cleared the NET exam in the year of 2003 itself. And the JRF again, she has cleared the NET exam with JRF in the year of 2006. And she became SRF in the year of 2011. And she has presented a lot of papers and she has got a lot of awards and recognition. And recently she got in the year of 2022, she was Best Women Faculty Award, and recently, and Think Saksha Award 2025, she got National Award for Excellence in Forensic, Women and Forensic Excellence Award. So much of awards and recognitions belongs to our respected resource person today. And she will be talking about the particular topic which we are given for the day. And today's class will be most interesting. She will be taking the class till 7:50, and remaining 10 minutes we will keep it for discussion. And from tomorrow onwards, dear faculty members, we will be having what was it, the resource person for all the 3 days. She will be teaching us very clearly about proposal writing, and she has been working for crores and crores of project. Yes, we know her personally, and when I was working for Nirmala Niketan in Mumbai, I got good rapport with this kind of people, and they will be giving you clear-cut information regarding proposal writing. Definitely, this session will be useful for you. And today is the last session for IPR, because yesterday we one resource person take one session on IPR. Day before yesterday also we have given chance to Shubharani ma'am. Yesterday Dr. Arul taken the class, and today the classes will be taken care by Dr. Janki ma'am. And without much delay, we will be directly going to the we are directly hand the session to the ma'am. And one more is thing regarding the collaboration for our upcoming FTP, we are reaching our level best to convert this event as a great event as a 60 hours course. Let's see how it goes and how it operates. Meanwhile, any of you are interested to collaborate with us, do let us know immediately so that we can move with the another protocols. Now, without taking much time, let me directly hand the session to over to you, Dr. Janaki.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
You are audible. You are completely audible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction, sir. So kind. Is my slides visible, sir?
Yes, visible.
Very good evening to one and all. Today, as sir has said earlier, some classes have been held on patent and innovation management. Today, I will be handling on the broad area of patent, innovation management, and commercialization of research. Here, in this I have classified into three different sections. That is, first regarding patent, And second session will be on innovation management. Third one will be on commercialization of those research ideas or patents which we have filed and we have been awarded with the patent. So in this 2 hour session, we will be dealing with what is a patent, patent important, its heart and soul of the patent, what are all the things to be addressed, and how a patent should be drafted and filing process. And then we will move on to the innovation management, how the innovative ideas we have to manage and how it has to be converted into a startup and how these startup can be commercialized. That is our the research or ideology which we have to be commercializing. So without much further delay, I will jump into the fundamentals of patent. Patent is about protecting our innovation. So we'll be, but before starting it into the actual explanation, I just want to put some word that when I was hearing about application of patent in social science, it was very fascinating because everyone is thinking that patent is only for science people or only for technology people, but it is a wrong conception. Idea can be anything, but it has some basic criteria. Then those ideas are innovations which we can go for its commercialization or its execution, through which we can bring some change in this society. So this innovation is the basic. Innovation can be from any field. It can be social science, science or technology or engineering, wherever it is. So I'm very happy to address the social scientist when it comes to the patent to the social scientist. I'm very, very glad to hear this. So let's start. First, we have to understand the intellectual property protection in India. Okay. So first, what is a patent? Patent is the foundation of an IP protection, that is intellectual property protection, where we will certain steps are there which I will be explaining in further next upcoming slides. So where we will fulfill those steps and we will patent our ideology, or we are going to get a statutory right on our innovation or invention, because without the right, the statutory right, one cannot claim. So this exclusive patent is a exclusive control. The best example is initially there was a new ideology in using the dhoti in especially in Tamil Nadu, which has been taken by the using a Velcro, but it was invented by some one company, but it is being used by some other company. So the second company which has used it has got the patent. So even though it has been invented by one company, they could not claim because the patent has been registered in the person's or the company's name, and the even though it though have not invented initially. So here, so why the patent registration becomes more important? Whenever we have any ideology or innovation, its exclusive rights should be in our hand. That is the inventor. So when we are going for a patent in India, typically this patent covers for 20 long years. So once we have filed and the patent has been awarded, we will be having an exclusive right or a control over our innovation for the next 20 years. And whenever we want to make it as a commercialization, in the chapter, the second part, how we can commercialize this innovation will be dealt. So in such way, we can commercialize or disclose this patent and we can make it into a commercialized product. So the power of patent, why protection of patent is important. See, first, the knowledge source. So basically, when we are having any knowledge or an ideology, it is very much important that we have to protect it. So the scientific and technical literature becomes a rich source of new knowledge for researchers. So whenever we are having any ideology or looking into a new things, so these research will give us what has happened and how what is there in a current situation and what we can find out or what we can invent. So the knowledge source becomes the most important one. And second one is avoid duplication. So when we have understood what is the lacuna in a research or what is the gap in the invention, so the next thing is we have to be very careful, because we cannot reinvent the in any existing or any innovations. So why we cannot do any duplications in the work? So it is purely a new innovation that alone can go for a patent. Any changes in one small ideology or small process will not become a new invention. It is just an add-on. So such duplications should be avoided. And then third comes the enabled discovery. So this paves the way for further discoveries by building upon existing innovation and patented work. So when we are going for a patent, so that patent should give a way to a next level advancement or the next level discovery. So once we have done, so it should carry on with the further research, or it should carry on with further application. So such thing in patenting is very much important. And then comes market advantage. This patent will help us in blocking the competitor from copyright, so that you have the inventions, being an inventor, you have the right over your invention. So you will be having an advantage over the market, so that you are an inventor. So you have the complete exclusive right over that invention, so that you will have the advantage. And then comes the revenue stream. Potential for royalties through licensing agreements with other companies, or with tie-ups with the universities or research center. Through any in these way, these patented inventions will lead to the revenue generation to the inventor. So authorities and legal framework, how we can uh, register. So in India, Office of the Controller General, he will be the supermost authority or the highermost authority, who will be looking upon existing based on the Indian Patent Acts of 1970, operating exclusively to amend multiple times to align with the standards of TRIPS agreement requirements, so that here the Controller General of Patents, Design and Trademarks heads these authorities. So there are three types of things which are can be registered under this office of the Controller General, that is a patent and the designs and the trademark. So patents can be of two type. One is a utility patent, another one is a design patent. And the designs is and the trademark is about the company's trademark, which we have the authority over any company or some company's secret or something which is related to that company, which we can go to the patenting. So the office is being divided into branches and main branch. The main branch of Controller General, Office of the Controller General, is situated in Mumbai, and it has a branch offices in Delhi, Chennai, and Kolkata. So through these branches, we can apply for patent registration. The patent registration is completely over electronic. That is through the IP India online portal. We can go for a registration of the intellectual properties. So what are all the things which we have to look upon when we are going to register our patent? So a very most important things which we have to check upon before filing we have to ensure the invention's quality. So whether these invention is fit for the patenting, or how whether it has that these three things, that is there any novelty in this innovation, and this novelty is this invention must be a new and not previously published or publicly known anywhere in the world before the filing date. That is, even though if we are the inventor and we are being filing it before going for a patent, if we are being publishing this data as a research paper or a research article, will also become a void, because this idea is already been published. So if anyone is planning for patenting any of your work, so please don't publish without applying for a registration of patent. If you are having any such ideas, if you are going for a patent registration, then you can, after applying for registration, you can go for a publication of the papers, so that the novelty of the invention will be with you only, because once the filing date has been received, so that it has been filed, after that we are publishing means it will come within the purview. If we have published before to the filing of patent, it will have a lot of issues, because this idea has already been published, so many peoples are known, so there can be any dilemma. So why it is better to avoid if we are going to register our innovation as a patent. And the second step is inventive step. The invention must involve a technical advance or economic significance, not being obvious to a person skilled in the relevant art or technology field. So this inventive step, that is, it should have some technical advancement. So without any technical advancement or economical significance, those novelty will not have any patentability. So why it is very much important to look upon whether the product or innovation which we are going to patent have a has a inventive step. Then the final one is a industrial application. The inventions must be capable of uh, the inventions must be capable of uh, being made or used in any kind of industry, including agriculture and manufacturing. So once the novelty of our invention is being decided, and then it has inventive steps, and then industrial application is the most important when we are going for a patentability. So what can be patented in India? So in India, we can patent articles and apparatus like machineries, equipment, devices, or their components, and even the parts of those machineries can be patented. And substances and products like living or non-living substances, products, and pharmaceutical compositions, these can also be patented. And compositions, new composition of matter, chemical formulations, and material blends, so these can also be patented in India. Process and method, methods of manufacturing, arts of production, and industrial processes, excluding essential biological process. That is, when we are inventing or making any new manufacturing methods, instead of the good old procedure, if we are bringing a new manufacturing method, that methods can be patented under the utility and utility patent. And even the arts of production, that is, even a picture or a drawing or even our jewelry designs can also go for the patenting. And even the industrial processes, what exactly we are going to use in our industry to prepare any new items or a new material which we are going to be released in the market for its sale, market for sale. And the next comes what cannot be patented in India. The Section 3 of the Patent Act strictly avoids these things which we cannot patent. So the first one is contrary to the natural laws. Whenever we are making any inventions that are that violates established the natural laws or public order or morality. So any new inventions which are against to the natural law, like preparation of unnatural materials, of unnatural things. These things we cannot go for a patenting. And then scientific discoveries, discoveries of scientific principles, abstract theories are natural occurring substances. So the theory cannot be patented because it is just a principle. It does not have a process. It is only a adjudication of a principle. Principle cannot be, but we can go for a copyright of the principle or a theories, but we cannot go for a patent. So we have to be very clear when we are going for a patent registration. Patent is different, copyright is different. And then comes known substances. More discovery of new forms of known substances without enhanced efficacy. That is, already one compound or substance is existing without further enhanced efficiency. If we are trying to find out the same kind of substances and trying for the patenting, so such things will not be allowed for patent registration. And then comes agricultural methods, methods of agriculture, horticulture, or animal husbandry and practices cannot be patented. And finally, the atomic energy, inventions related to atomic energy, nuclear materials like uranium, thorium, etc. works in this field, we cannot go for a patent. So these are all being excluded from patent under Section 3 of Act 1970. So before going for a patent registration, the second step, that is, the first step is getting into the innovative idea. The second step is a patent search. When we are supposed to register our patent, the first thing is we have to search. Why search is essential? Some people says it is an optional, but generally when we go for a patent search, critically it will help for the success, because when we are filing the patent, the most important part of the patent is claims. What are all the claims we are going to have? How many claims we are claiming in our patent? So those to have or to report such claims, it is very much necessary to understand and to give those claims. So which should not be claimed by some other research. It should be a newly innovative one. It cannot, your material can be new, but if it has the same claim by some other person, you cannot go for a patenting. So why it is very much necessary to understand what you are going to claim under your patent. So it is very much essential to conduct the patent search. And the key benefits are like identifies similar inventions are already existing or not, helps refining your invention's unique aspects. If you are having any new invention, if something is having a matching with something existing inventions, so what is the uniqueness in your invention? What are all the things you should include and you should exclude? To have that ideology, patent search is important. And then comes provides insight into claim scope and strategy. What is the scope? So when we are looking into this patent search, we will understand what is the scope of our invention which we are going to claim in our patent. And because of this patent research search, it very much helps us in reducing the rejection of our patent during the examination, because after it has been published and it is sent for examination, any moment if someone has a opposition, it can be rejected. So it is very much necessary to have the search to understand the key benefits and the invention's uniqueness, so that our invention will not be having the risk of rejection. And finally, it will save substantial costs in the long run, because I'm not talking about the one patent and one registration. So once we have started patenting means we will keep on doing one, two, three, four. So it will be going on counting. So that when we are understanding this importance of this search, we can reduce the cost, so that because when it goes for a FER and it has a rejection and it has any question, we have to again go and give this justification. So all those procedures are there, which I will be explaining in the next step. So it will help us in the cutting down our cost in the long run. So where we can search for this patent. So the first database is IP India database, where we can search all sort of patents which are being registered in India, which is a free access to the entire public. So we are at ipindia.gov.in is the best government website where we can search the database. And second comes is Google Patents. Google Patent, where we can search millions of patents. It is worldwide with advanced filters. Even when we go for a finding out any, for example, if we are going for any new material, that material has two or three components. So if we are claiming any one of a component, even we can search on the basis of those component. Those filters we can choose and we can apply, and we can refine our search of the patents in a Google patent. And then comes SPECENT database. It is a European patent office comprehensive global database, where again it is a and finally the professional search. Consider hiring patent search firm for comprehensive analysis. So if we have having any doubts, or if we could not complete the task, we can go for a professional help also for completing this patent search before filing. This is before filing. It may be an optional, but it is a crucial for our successful acceptance of our patent. And then comes drafting our patent. What are the specific things we have to be when we are drafting our patent? The most critical steps in entire process is the quality of our patent specification, which determines the strength and enforceability of our patent. So what is the strength, how far we can bring it into a commercialization, how it is useful, and how clearly it is having the specification. So if there is any results are weak, or it is having any lacunas, so that it will definitely lead to the rejection. So the most important thing is a drafting. So first one is a provisional specification. When to file? When your invention is still in development, or you need to secure an early priority date quickly, you can go for a provisional registration. That is, for this provisional specification, you have 12 months of time. So you have started research now, and by the end of 10 months or 11 months, you are definitely you are reaching to a patentable item or a material. So you can go for this provisional specification registration, so that the duplication of your work will be, or claiming by some other persons after your work, because nowadays we are doing research, and there are a lot of things are going around us. So at any moment, any thing go off, so like our research can also be taken over by someone else. So to avoid such things, it is better to go for this provisional registration, so that it lets us the detailed description is acceptable. So here it's need not to give the entire description when we are going for a provisional specification, a provisional registration, and no formal claims are required, because when we are going for a complete registration, then we are going to give the claims, because here we are it is like a our provisional. So here I am working in this field, definitely I am going to get this patent. So before someone tries or steals from this, I want to make it into my name. So why I am going for this provisional registration. So it will minimize the problems, so that here formal claims need not to be required, and this provisional registration gives a priority date of 12 months. So even after 12 months, if you are registering the completion of your registration, still you can claim from the day one, that is the filing date. So your file will have that seniority, and it gives time to refine invention and raise fund. So this 12 months, your idea is being provisionally registered, so you have that 12 months so that you can refine your idea and you can raise the fund and you can complete your work, so that your patent can will come into a particular framework and you can go for its registration. Importantly, you have 12 months. If within the stipulated period of this 12 months, if we are not going for a complete registration, means we the risk of losing this provisional registration is also there. And the second thing is complete specification or a complete registration, where our invention is fully developed and ready for detailed disclosure. So the first one is provisional, which is before the product is ready in our hand. Only the inception is there, innovative idea is there, the product or a material is not in our hand, we can go for a provisional. But now the ready item or a product is in our hand, the utility is in our hand, the process is fixed, so that we can go for a complete specification. So what are all the things we will be needing when we are going for a when we are going for this complete specification? The required components are clear title, concise and descriptive one. The title which we are going to give to our product, it should be very clear. Even the title should not resemble with any other existing title. It should be concise, and it should be descriptive. It should not have any only in chemistry or physics we can use the now the chemical codes or chemistries, chemical and physics. But apart from there, we cannot go for any short forms. We have to give it in a concise way. We have to clearly define the title, what we are going for the registration. And then comes field of invention, which is the technical area our invention belongs to, whether it belongs to a medical field, whether it belongs to biomedical, or whether it belongs to mechanical engineering, or whether it belongs to medical field, or whether it belongs to physiological field, whether it belongs to materials or pharmaceuticals. So when we are giving the field of invention, we have to be very clearly mention the technical area. And then comes background, that is prior art and problems your invention solves. That is, when we have designed this particular invention, so we what was the previous one? This invention is a new one, but what does this invention solves? What is the lacuna which your invention is going to fill that gap? Where it does it fits? So that prior art before to your invention, what was the situation, and now your invention, how it is going to solve that issue. That background is very much important when we are going for a complete specification. And then comes a detailed description, that is a complete technical disclosure enabling the reproduction. So whenever we are going for a patent registration, here we for patent we have to completely disclose our technical things, because once it is patented, everything, whatever the claims, that is the next comes the claim. So whatever we have claimed in our patent alone will be patented to us. So if we are not disclosing any part of the technical background or technical issues or technically things which is related to our particular invention, so it will have the lacuna. So later we will be having issues when we are going for the claims. Then it comes drawings. If our patent is having any designs, those should be given in a particularly way. For example, when we are going for a design patent, generally we use AutoCAD software to prepare the drawings when we are submitting the drawings to the patent office. So regarding the design, regarding the material, how this material looks like, how this material will work. For example, machinery, the wheels, everything, and even when we are giving any new utility product. So if we are having any drawings, it should have the clear embodiments. It should not be like a vague one. It should be a clear drawings. And then claims are the most important one. I have been telling from the first slide, that is a legal definition of protection scope. That is, this is the most critical part of our patent. So whatever the claims we are going to make in our patent draft or the in file, so those alone you are going to have the patentability. That is, so whatever the claims you have made, so those claims alone will be received by you, so that you will be having a low risk over your patent. So, but at the same time, we have to be very careful. We should not give any general or a broad claims, because general or a broad claims will have a higher rejection risk. So, whenever we are making any claim, the claim should be particular and narrowed down to our protection and to our particular material which we are supposed to and which we have invented. It should not be like a general one. It should be a specific. So those specific claims will have the higher protective value of your patent. And then finally comes the abstract, that is a brief technical summary. So these are all the things when we are preparing our draft, we have to keep it on our mind. So the first title should be very clear, and then the field of invention, in which field our patent will come under, and then comes a background. So what was the prior situation before the invention, and what our invention is going to help, and the detailed description, the technical ability, and every details of our invention. And then comes the drawings. If any images or drawings are there, it should be very clearly embodied in our draft. And then the claims, the most important point, all these things should be in a small abstract form, which is a technical summary of our patent. Then comes the filing procedure. So these are all some of the essential forms which will be required for registering the application. The form 1, application for grant of patent, includes basic details about invention and applicant. That is, what is the our invention, the details of the applicant. It can be generally there will be no any numbers are not restricted, but we have to keep in our mind when we are going for a patent registration. It is better to avoid the people, those who are not involved in our research and in our invention. So it is better one or two people are together, or three. You can go for the patent registration. So, but there is a maximum number of patent registrant applicants is 5 to 6 members. We can go at a time, but it is better to avoid such situation. It will be good for our patents credibility. And then form 2, patent specification, that is provisional or complete. Whether what is the detail of the whether we are going for a provisional registration or a complete registration, including containing the detail of technical disclosure. If we are going for a provisional, there is no need of claim, there is no need of details. But we are going for a completed registration, that is the final registration filing. So we have to keep all the essential things, that is a title to the abstract. All these things will be there in a form 2, and form 3 will be the statement and undertaking regarding foreign filings. So generally Form 3 will be dealt with if we are simultaneously filing this patent in any other country. For example, IP India will give you protection in India, but the same patentability item can also be patented in somewhere else in other countries, even Germany, UK, Europe, or USA, anywhere it can also be patented. So to avoid such discomforts, even we can go for a foreign filing also. So if we are going for any such foreign filing, this Form 3 has to be utilized. So it is if we are going for simultaneously we are going for a filing a patent in a foreign country, and the Form 5 declaration of inventorship confirm true and first inventors, that is who is a inventor, his detailed the declaration of invention, all these things will be there. So these forms, four forms are the most important one, and Form 26, that is power of attorney. If we directly going into the website, that is ipindia.gov.in, we can see all these form in online form. Even I will show you. These are all the forms of Form 1, Form 2, and Form 3, where we will give all the details. So these forms are all will be available in an online filing format. So we can go to that website and we can file. If we are finding any difficulties, so we can have our agent. So when we are filing our patent through any agent, then the Form 26 is important, so that the power of attorney will be given to that our agent. So he will be acting on our behalf for filing our patent application. So the filing method is, as I said, it is a e-filing system, which is the most recommended one. Physical filing is also allowed at the patent office branches like Chennai, Delhi, and Kolkata branches. We can go directly and we can file. But e-filing, that is an online portal. E-filing is the most beneficial one, because the process will be very faster, and we can track the real-time tracking, that what is the level, and the fees is also very low. I will later I will explain you the fees details also. So we can track our where exactly the status of our file is sitting. So then comes application types, that is ordinary application, direct filing in India, a convention application, claims priority from foreign filing, that is we are going for a simultaneous, and PCT national phase enters India after PCT international phase, that is it is already been registered some in other country, and now we are entering into Indian patent. So these three types of patent registrations are there. These are all the forms. This is the first one is a Form 1. This is a Form 1 where we are going to give the basic detail of the applicant and types of the application. Form 2, detail of the patent. Form 3, statement of undertaking, that is a declaration. And the fifth and sixth, that is a publication and request for examination. After we have, once the filing procedure is over, the first thing what happens is the publication. After filing is over, generally when it comes to the utility patent, it is around 18 months, that is around 1.5 years it will take for the publication after from the date of filing. So if it is a design patent, so it will take around 6 months for the publication of the patent in case of design. In case of utility patent, it will take around 18 months for the publication. If we are going for early publication, so we have to file another Form 9, which will help us in early publication. So which it will be published in 1 month, but it has some extra fees has to be paid. And then after it has been published, then it will go for the examination. So once it has been published, so then it goes for the request for examination, which takes 18 months to 48 months. Generally in India, it for utility patents, the acceptance publication takes around 4 to 5 years. The minimum of 4 years is necessarily it blends, and then our patent will be having the final patent in our hand. So the publication detail. Patent publications are automatically published 18 months from the filing date or priority date, whatever, if you are going through the Form 9. This publication makes your invention publicly available and grants your provisional rights. So once you have been, your invention is published, so you are having that rights. So even after this publication, we can publish this as a research article in any reputed journal also. So it will not have any infringement over your invention. Excuse me, sorry. So that we can claim. So if there is any provisional rights are being infringed, we can go for a damages claim also if we have any. So and then early publication option, as I said, Form 9, publication fees to expedite the publication, which we can go for within a month. This is useful when you want to establish prior art or state enforcing rights sooner. You want to commercialize immediately, your product is readily available in your hand, you cannot wait for a delayed patent publication. You through the file form 9, filing the form 9, this publication can be made faster, and within a month it will be published. So generally every fortnight, for every 15 days, this publication will be published on the website of IP India, where the journal will be published, where all the patent, utility patent and design patents are published for every 15 days once. That is probably on a Thursday evening or a Friday. This journal will be published so that we can check the journal if we have our file has been published or not. The content published will be like title, abstract, description of claims and drawings, complete specification, which becomes a public domain. So now once it has been published, so it is for everyone's access. Anyone can check your patent, anyone, if any questions are there, so everybody has an equal right. So if it is a duplicate, the original inventor can question. If your work is there and someone has going to copy it, you have the infringement claims, and all these will help us in publicly describing it or publication of this patent. And then comes for request for examination. Generally we RFE or FRE. So filing a request for examination using Form 18 is a mandatory to move our application forward without RFE within 48 months from filing our priority date. Our application is deemed abandoned. If we are within a 48 months, if we are not giving this request, even though it is published, it is once the publication of the patent is not the patentability. Publication is just the first step. After it is been examined, after the first examination, and if there is no any question and there was no any reference claims, or if there is no any competitions have been given, then only we are going to have this patenting of our inventions. So the publication is just a first step. It is not a complete ownership over the patent. And then the timing, we can file the RFE any time after filing, which must be filed within 48 months. Most applicants generally we file within a year or two, so that we can generally go for an examination and we can complete the examination of our patent. Even in the examination time, just like the publication, even in examination also we can expedite using a Form 18A for especially for startups and women applicants and government departments for early examination, where it takes processing time will be reduced from 2+ year to 6 to 12 months. Within 12 months, if we are going for a Form 18A, if we are filing it, so the 48 months will be reduced to 1 year. So examination and responses to objection. So the first, when after the request for examination, the first will initiated as an examination process. Patent examiner reviews the application for patentability requirement. The examiner will look into its novelty, its inventive step, the patentability, its industrialization, all these things, and after that, it will be taken to the first examination report, that is a FER issuance. The first examination report, if there is any objections, typically, if while writing the technical skills, there is no any doubts or ambiguity, the claims are very clear and very narrow. FER, we will not find much difficulties. If there are any such difficulties or claims, generally in the area of claims, we will have this FER issuance, so that we have to be very clear when we are giving the claims. So generally it takes 6 to 12 months with objections. If there are any objections are there, we can with along with the attorney, we can go to the FER office and we can refer the issuances and we can solve the problem, so that here, generally, the response period will be 6 months to 12 months, extendable by 3 more months. So, if this FER, if there is any issuance, if 6 months time will be given, if there is any issue, we can take the 3 months extension, and the final hearings will involve personal hearing with the controller. So, after the first examination is done, then it comes to the response period. So where it will take another 6 months for to respond if there is any issue or whatever the claims or whatever the issues were there, everything is clear. And finally, it goes for the controller for the hearing, so that it will be just like a judge who is sitting over in a court. He will give the judgment in the same way. In this firing final hearing, the controller will have the will issue the patentability of our inventions. Excuse me. The final steps are grant of patent and post grant requirement. Once all objections are resolved to the controller's satisfaction, the patent is granted and published in the patent journal. So we will receive a patent certificate confirming the exclusive right, which is for the next 20 years from the filing date, not even from the publication. It is from the filing date. Even before, if it has taken for the 4 years. So the if we have filed our patent in 2020 and it has been published in 2024. So our exclusive rights will have the claim from the 2020. So it is not from the 2024. So protection term is for the next 20 years, that is from 2020 to 2040. We'll have this complete protection of our patent. So the rights granted are like exclusive right to make, use, sell, offer for sale, or import, or having any sort of claiming related to our patent, right to assign and license to other. We can license our patent to someone else, and we can right to sue infringers in court. If someone copies our our invention and if they are using it, we can sue them into the court and we can initiate the legal procedures against them. And provisional rights from the publication date. So once the publication is done, from that day itself, we will have the provisional rights over our patent. Then the post grant requirements. So post grant requirements are renewal fees, that is annual maintenance. Every after the third year, the we have to pay for the renewal of our patent. So fees increases each year. Non-payment leads to the patent lapse. Though restoration is possible within 18 months from the for the additional fees. So generally, after if it is 24, our utility patent is been given. So 27, at the end of 27, we have to go for a renewal of our patent, so that even though we will having this 20 years of exclusive right, but still we have to renew our patent. Generally, after 3 years we have to go for this renewal. Pre-grant opposition, any person can oppose before grant, but after publication, but after post grant opposition within 1 year after grant by interested persons. So if there is any opposition before publication, there can be opposition, or after publication also the maximum period is 1 year. Within that, if there is any oppositions are there, can be claimed. After that, uh, after 1 year of publication or a grant has been given on a patent, it becomes invalid to give any such oppositions over the patentability. So generally, it will give a 20 years of protection, and it will only after third year we have to renew our patent, and it will give 18 months of window for the restoration of our patent if we have forgotten to uh, renew. So generally, so this is a timeline 0 to 12 months, filing, search and drafting, month 18, that is a publication, month 24 to 36, FER issuance and response, months 36 to 60, grant and certificate. So totally, it will take 4 to 5 years for the complete one circle of grant of a patent. So generally, the patent fee structure will be very clearly given over the website also. For the here we have some of the applicant types and some of the fees discounts which are being related. So individual or a small entity, we can go for a normal applicant. It's a standard rate which comes around 1,600, and startup or DPIIT recognized, the fees will be reduced. That is 80% discount will be there. If it is a female inventor, again 80% discount is there. If it is a government entity, 80% discount is there. And if it is a large company, the fees will be higher. That is standard 1.5 into 2. That is it is more than the general prescribed fees. So generally post grant procedures, so and rights, what are all it gives to us. A post grant opposition, the third parties can oppose the patent after it is granted within 12 months. So within 12 months, if no one is going for an opposition, there is an exclusive for us. And patent enforcement taking legal action against infringement through civil or criminal proceedings. Once we have got the complete grant over our patent, if anyone infringes or copies our patent, we can initiate the civil or criminal proceeding against those persons. Revocation and renewal procedure for invalidating patents or maintaining them through annual renewal fees. So if we have forgotten to renew our patent within the 18 months, we have to renew, or otherwise it will be difficult for revocation, because once it is not been it is comes out to the public, anyone can use, so that the patent, the person who has got the patent, he will be infringed with the that is financial benefits. So the territorial right protection is valid only within India if we are filing in through the Indian Patent Office, and separate filings is required for international protection. Then comes the second part, that is innovation management in India's startup ecosystem. So, what is an innovation management? So, innovation management is a systematic process of managing ideas, creativity, and implementation to create value. We have an innovation, so which has been that idea has been taken into the level of the next, and we have received the patent, and now we have to manage our innovations. So this as a systematic process. So the first is the idea generation and the capture, and then evaluation and the selection mechanism, and development and implementation. The systematic approach to soliciting, documenting, and cataloging innovative concepts from diverse source including employees, customers, partners, and market observations. So when we have a idea is been generated, so who will be the worker, who will be our customer, to whom, how to market our product, all these things we have to have the idea, and we have to manage it. And then comes evaluation and selection mechanism. There is a rigorous assessment frameworks that balance potential impact against feasibility. So we cannot bring anything which is not suited to the particular period. We cannot bring a old gadget or a outdated innovations. So it has to be relevant to that particular time or a period. So if it is doesn't fit to that period, so its marketability will be very riskier. So for which the selection mechanism and evaluation of the feasibility of the resources. So what will be the resource I will be needing to make this innovation into a feasible one, and how I am going to sell it, and how I'm going to produce it. All these things are very much important. And then comes development and implementation. So after looking into all these things, we are prototypes are ready, and those prototypes will be validated and will be taken into the next level for its inception and its production, and selling it in the market. So some of the key success factors, that is continuous improvement mindset. Once we have the our product is patented and we have a legal rights, we cannot sit quietly, because some more improvement is needed. If depending upon the development of the society, or depending of the growth of the technology, we have to keep on improving. If we sit tightly, yes, I have a patent, okay, it will not work. We have to keep on improving our mindset and improving our research. And then comes proper resource allocation aligned with the strategy. Uh, when we have the proper resource allocation, where how much strategically we have to plan, how much we have to invest, what are all the things, how effectively it is going to clear the criteria for allocating the capital, and all these things, which are like strategic ideas, and but non-strategic ideas, and protecting resources. So all these things is very much important. And then comes customer value creation focus. So once our idea is ready, and we have to think upon how much I have to invest, how much I have to work on a market, all these things, strategies are should be considered looking upon the customer value. So what customer is expecting at the, because at the end the product should reach the customer. So we have to look upon the customer value creation. And then comes innovative company culture or leadership support. So these leadership support will help us, or actively champions the risk taking, tolerates intelligent failures, and rewards experimentation, so that our innovation will have the will be keep on going into the field, and it will bring some the culture of a balance of accountability and a psychological safety, so that demanding results while protecting those who take calculated risks. So this is like we cannot say I will give one product, I will take this much benefit. No, we cannot do that. We have to keep on balancing between the customer and our innovation, so that we have to keep on improving our innovation. So some of the lean startup methodology, scientific approach to creating and managing successful startups. The lean startup methodology, pioneered by Eric Rice and popularized globally, represents a fundamental shift from traditional business planning approaches. Rather than investing years and developing comprehensive business plans and building complete products before market validation, lean methodology emphasizes rapid iterative learning cycles that validate assumptions with real customer behavior, what exactly the customer needs. So depending upon that customer need, we are going to have the startup. So this is what the lean startup methodology. So here it has the four things which we have to be very clearly understand before building up our startup, which can lead to the failure mode. So build, measure, learn. So that is rapid iteration cycles that compress development timelines and accelerate learning. So we have to compress the development timelines. We cannot keep on stretching the development of our items. So we have to keep up some timelines so that we can accelerate learning and we can complete the process. And then comes minimum viable product, that is test core value propositions, what is needed with the minimal resource. We cannot go for a full scale development without its testing. If it fails as a full scale, it will be a full loss. So that we have to, at the minimum resource level, we have to go for a testing, so which will give a minimum viable product. And then comes validated learning, data driven decision. That is when we have this minimum resource viable product, so we will be having some data, so which will help us in making some decision. Yes, customer needs this, customer does not need this. So all these things will help us in understanding what the customer end customer needs. And the pivot preserve, so adaptive strategy based on feedback rather than stubborn committee to initial plans. So we have to sometimes stick on to the feedback also. Simply we cannot stubbornly committed to some of the committees. We have to, when it comes to the lean startup methodology, we have to stick on to the feedback methodology also. Some of the leading innovation sectors in India is a fintech, that is a digital payments and financial inclusion sector, deep tech, that is AI, ML, and advanced technologies. And then comes e-commerce, that is a growing digital consumer base. The best example is a Zepto for e-commerce, which has started in 2018. So now, which is one of a very highly leading startup. And the clean tech, which is related to sustainable energy and the environment field. Um, Startup funding stages, when it is like from idea to the exit. So what are all the things which we have and how the fundings can be done? What are all the stages of funding? The first stage is a seed stage where angel investors, friends, and family can come in, step into the helping the innovators or the people who have the idea. And here it will have the validation and initial capital for prototype development and market validation, and team formation will be done. The sources include personal savings or a family investment or an angel network. Angel investors are like a one who is a well-known person or a person one who is without seeking anything from you, he is ready to invest for you. So like that, it is not a business oriented, but so why we call him as an angel investor. So and early stage funds. So this is the first stage. In the stage of our initial seeding, these fundings will help us. And then comes the series A, that is a venture capital for scaling. So first, after the seeding stage is over, we'll go for the Series A, that is a venture capital. So here, first institutional round funding starts, where we will be going to the validation of our initial scale, the prototype, whether it fits to be made it into a big scale, whether it will be having its economical, whether it fits to the business model. All these things will be going on. And here, this the second or the Series A, that is a venture capital from business people or some companies who are interested in taking care of your innovations, and they are ready to spin off the capital. And here, the ventures will start the credibility and establish the credibility for subsequent rounds, and requires professional governance structure. So you have a prototype, so someone ventures into your ideology and they are going to help you to develop the prototype, and then it will go to the series B or C, which is a growth capital. So you had a seed stage and the venture, and it is a growth. These scaling rounds for geographic expansion or a team augmentation. So here it is like a market share capture. So here investors evaluate competitive modes, or what will be the gain for them, what will be its feasibility to the market. So these rounds often involve multiple investors coordinating syndicate and establishing board representation. So so many institutions are there, those who are giving lot of startup funds. So they will be helping in this growth capital series B and C. And then comes the fourth stage, that is a growth stage, that is a private equity or a strategic investors. There's a large round of accelerated expansion, that is the preparation for an exit. So investors include growth equity funds, corporate venture arms, and strategic acquires. So here it is like a completely taken over by the a company or a ventures. So your idea, everything will be taken care, and it will be completely made as a product, and it is ready to be taken to the customer end. So the final option is an exit, that is a IPO, acquisition or merger. So you can be an investor, or you can be an acquisitor, or you can be a merger. So in these three ways, which I'm going to say it in the ways how we can start up our innovations. So either in these three way we can have the exit to our innovations. So the next part will be research commercialization, that is from our lab room to the market. So far we have understood the patent, its filing, and how we can get into the innovation management, that the what we have innovated and how to manage those inventions. And then comes research commercialization, how to commercialize our research. Research commercialization represents the systematic process of translating academic discoveries, inventions, and innovations into market ready products, services, or processes that deliver tangible economic and societal benefits. This critical bridge connects the world of pure scientific inquiry with the practical demands of industry and marketplace needs. So this what the ideology we have, what are all the research we have done. So now, depending upon the marketplace or the benefit or the economic benefits or the societal benefits, our discoveries or innovations are made it into the market ready products. The commercialization journey begins with the identifying the research output. What is the potential of our innovation, whether it has any genuine market potential, or for example, if there is a, the best example is Bharat Biotech's corona injection during the corona period. So where they have COVID vaccine has been brought into market. So that is an apt period for them to market it very well. So even it has been globally marketed. So such genuine market potential is necessary when we are commercializing any research. And then these discoveries must then be protected through intellectual property mechanisms. So that is through the patent, that is IPO. We are going for the intellectual property protection, and then it should evaluate commercial viability and strategically positioned for a market entry. So once the Covaxin is ready, so was ready, it has been taken into a commercial value, and it has been distributed around the world and around India. So that commercial availability was made, and it has been utilized for the vaccinating the people. So then finally comes successful research commercialization. So you can see what happened to the Bharat Biotech. So the company was nowhere, and the company was been went to the highest peak. So even so it is like a commercialization success. So even we can take the example of the Zepto. When it was initiated, it has nothing, but today it has gone to the level of very high. And the most recent example is of the Sarvam AI, which is built by the completely Indian company, which depends upon which has a regional language of ours. It understands our regional needs. So this Sarvam AI is picking it up, and these are all some of the successful research commercialization from the invention to the level of commercialization. So what are all the things, steps we have to, which has been involved in research commercialization? Step one, identify commercial potential. So once we have the ideology has been protected through the IPO, then we have to look upon the commercial potential. Start by evaluating whether our research can become a viable product or a service, and we have to think whether it solves any real industry problem. Who will be my target? What will be the market size? For example, one of my product, which was basically, I'm, as sir said, I am from a forensic science background. So one of my product was based on a fingerprint powder, where we had still now completely available fingerprint powders are a commercial, purely metallic base. So why we have gone for an organic powder? So I have a area to sell. I have, yes, it has some really solving the problem, because the people who are using this powder to dust at the crime scene, they are also human beings. They are all facing lot of health issues. So why we needed some organic replacement? So who will be my target? The target will be the entire police department throughout the India. Those who are using these powders to dust over the crime scene and develop the latent fingerprint. Yes, market size, yes, of course, today there is every day we are looking onto the lot of crimes and lot of criminal activities are happening everywhere. The fingerprints is become a very common nowadays. Identifying the latent fingerprint is one of the basic a clue or evidence piece which becomes a conclusive evidence. So why that commercialization process is going on? So we have to look upon the real industry problem. Yes, there was a problem, as I said, and the target customer and the market size. So these first step I have we have to look upon whenever we have getting into commercializing the product. And the step two, step two will be intellectual property. Yes, as I said, one of my fingerprint powder I was talking. So that fingerprint powder has been published, and it is in the verge of a grant. So once it is granted, I can go for the commercialization. So IP protection gives a full rights to me to say that I have this organic powder, so that it is a very it reduces the health issues, so that it will have a complete legal protection for me. And then comes step three, that is a leverage institutional support. So here there are different types of leverages are there. The first one is a technology transfer office, which provides guidance on IP protection, that is information mm, protection, licensing, negotiations, and commercialization strategy. So this is a technology transfer office. Generally, it will be situated in the universities or research centers who will be taking care of the innovations which are done by the scientists, and they will be taking care of the intellectual property protection, its registration, its licensing, and its commercialization strategy. Everything will be taken care by them. And then comes the through IPR cell or innovation cell, which facilitates patent filing, manage intellectual property rights, and connects researchers with the industry. So here the step two, the whatever the innovations has been done through an innovation cell, this will be connected to the industry. And the Third, we can create a startup. For this, I have a good example of our own university, where one of our student from the food tech department has made one new noodles which has been gone for a patent, and the patent was granted. And finally, the student is having a startup creation along with the Naga company, food tech company, though now they are in a verge of preparing the new form of noodles, which is completely a nutritious and having a more nutritious value and values in that noodles than that of a general noodles. So this is a startup leverage. So here the student one who had that idea is been made into a patent, and it has been done, and the grant has been received, and now they are having a startup creation along with the company. And then comes proof of concept and a prototype. So I was talking about the noodles. So initially, the noodles was created by him, and it was being given to a lot of prototype has been created and given to the companies, and it has been validated by the labs. And so it will test its stability, its nutrition value, all these things, so that it will help us in real understanding, and it will help us in development of prototype. If it has any lacunas, so those lacunas can be overcome by this validation, so that the prototype will be developed, which will be fully functional, and the pilot testing will be done, validating with the potential users. So finally, here it is went to the company after the lab validation, the prototype was developed, and it goes to a final pilot testing. So after that, it will be coming as a commercial product for the usage. So there are some funding supports available. So like DST, that is a Department of Science and Technology, which provides supporting to the technology development throughout the national programs, and BIRAC, that is Biotechnology Industry Research and Assistance Council, who are also providing funds, and the TDB, that is Technology Development Board. Apart from these four, CSIR, so a lot of other universities and institutes are also there, who are also funding for such development of prototypes. And then comes secure funding. So there are different funding sources aligned with various stages of development. Understanding which option fits our current phase, accelerate progress towards the market. The early stage, that is a grant and government schemes. So when we are initiating our initial research, we can go for any DST or a BIRAC or a METI or any such program. So we can go for through the government schemes. At the early stage, we can develop our ideology, and then comes when it comes to the growth stage, that is a private investment, whether we can go through an angel investor or a venture capital or a corporate investors, through whom we can go for a growing our commercializing the research what we have made. Finally, with the national programs like Startup India and Atal Innovation Mission, we have the government schemes where our end product will be completely commercialized and ready to reach the end customers. So step 6 is commercialization. There are different steps in commercializing the research what we have made. So the first route is the first type is route A, licensing your technology. So once we have the patent, and the next we will go for a licensing our model. So once our patent technology is being licensed, we can establish technology to established companies who manufacture and distribute the product. So instead of creating a product by ourselves, we will license our patent to a company. Only the patent technology, not the entire patent. Will give a patent technology to the company, established company. Just now I said Naga company. So they have given a license. So that what happens? they have a royalty income, even though they might not have a good income, but they will have a good earning through this royalty, which will be payments based on sales volume. How much the sales happens, depending upon which the royalty will reach the inventor. Here it is a very low risk one, no need to build or no need to manufacture. There is no need of marketing, sales, or distribution, infrastructure, everything is zero. The risk is zero, and it is a very easy way for commercializing our technology or innovation. Then comes route B, that is a commercialization in another way, that is a startup or a spin-off company, creating our own business. We can transform our research into an independent company. This route offers a maximum control and upside potential, but requires significant commitment to the business operation. It is not like a licensing. We in the previous one we have given a license to a company. That company will have the production. They will take care of all the lab quality, its certification, everything. They will take care. Even the marketing, sales, everything will be done by them. But in this case, if we are going for a spin-off company or a startup, we have to take care of everything, starting from its commercialization till the reaching its consumer end. So there are some key advantages here also. We have a complete control over our product, developed and strategy. Whatever the product we have invented, we have 100% control over it. Retention of all IP ownership. When we are licensing, we are licensing our patent to someone X person, that the third party who is not at all related to our research. But here in this startup or spin-off company, here all the IP will be in our hand, and it will be retained with us, and there will be no uh, risk in IP. And then comes potential for substantial equity value. So whatever we will, the value of our equity, that is whatever the investment we have done, accordingly we will get, and it will have a direct customer relationship. So depending upon a customer, we can, as I initially said, there is a need of continuous development, so that here we will have a direct customer relationship, so that we can have some of improvement in our own invention, and innovative ideas can also be improved. And finally, the support system. IITs, IIMs, and major universities operate such incubators, providing workspace and mentoring and networking opportunities. This national startup ecosystem offers accelerates and seed fundings also. So in our university also we have the incubations, ACIC is there. So which is making a lot of students to come up with the startup ideas, and they are which are being converted into a complete commercialized way and to reach the customer end. Final step, that is a route C, it is like a industry collaboration. So the first one was licensing, second one is having our own industry, third one is a industry collaboration. It is like a joint development, partnering with companies to co-develop a technology. Here, sharing resource and expertise for faster market entry. So we have one technology in our hand. We will have the a collaboration with the alike company, so that our expertise will grow faster, and we can reach the market at a very easily and very faster one. And shared IP ownership. Here the intellectual property ownership will be shared with the industry and the inventor. So there will be some negotiation, joint ownership of the intellectual property created during the collaboration. And the revenue sharing, agree on profit sharing models based on a contributions and risk allocation. It can be based upon the risk taken by the industry or the inventor, depending upon its contributions. The sharing models will be created by the inventor and the company or the industry, so that the collaboration will be, the revenue will be shared by them. So this hybrid approach combines academic innovation with the industry execution capability, Partnership can accelerate commercialization while reducing individual risk exposures. Finally, the step 9, that is business and regulatory setup. So when it comes to the business and regulatory setup, company registration is the most important point. So we have to register the company if we are getting into the second, that is starting our own startup or a spin-off company. Registration is most important. Registering under Companies Act of 2013, we as a private limited or a public limited or whatever entity structures or suits for our company, we can go in that name and we have to register the company. And then registration for GST, that is obtaining goods and services tax registration for tax compliances and business operations. And then comes environmental approval, secure necessary clearance based on manufacturing process and environmental impact, depending upon the material, the product which we are going into produce or getting into the market, depending upon which environmental approvals are necessary. And then sector specific license. If, for example, pharma company, CDSCO approval is needed. If it is a food related, FSSAI license is related. If it is related to telecom, TRI registration is necessary. So depending upon its sector, specific licensings are very much necessary for having the regulatory setup. And the final is product development and scale up. Product refinement, transform validated prototype into a market ready product with consistent quality, reliability, and user experience. So manufacturing setup, establish production capabilities through in-house facility or contract manufacturing partners. So either first we have to refine our product, we can transform validated prototype into a market ready product consisting the quality and reliability, so the end user will have the experience. And then we can have the manufacturing setup through in-house facility, or we can contract some manufacturer or a manufacturing partner through whom we are going to have the manufacturing of our prototype. And finally comes the supply chain, developing reliable supplier network for raw material, components, and distribution channel. So which is the biggest challenge. So whenever we are going for a business or a business scale up, so supply chain is the most important one. We have to keep this network very clear. The first, we need a raw material for creating our item or a materials for which raw material is important, and the components which are needed for preparing that item is important. And then the distribution after preparation or manufacturing it, we cannot keep with us. It has to be marketed and it should be sold. So this network has to be very clearly defined so that it will reach the end user as a successful product. So common commercialization challenges. Despite best efforts, research commercialization faces systematic obstacles requiring proactive mitigation strategies and realistic expectations. Understanding these challenges will help us in better planning and resource allocation throughout the commercialization journey. What are all those? Some of the common challenges are like technology readiness gap. Academic research often produces proof of concept results requiring significant additional development before commercial viability. So technology is ready, but it is not ready to be commercially viable. So our product as a prototype is okay, but when it comes to the its application, so it will have some lacunas. So that technology readiness gap is there when our research is being done. So this gap has to be lessened or mitigated so that the technology will reach at the right time to the right end customer. So then comes a timeline mismatch. Whenever academic grant cycles and publication timelines, if there is any conflict with venture capital expectations for rapid returns and industry product development schedules, so these are all like sorry, These are all like timeline mismatch. So we cannot pressurize the innovator to complete the product in a particular time, so that if it is delayed, I am going to lose the market, I am going to face the loss. So such expectations should be minimized, so that researchers face pressure to publish while simultaneously protecting IP, creating tension between openness and proprietary protection. So here, in that such stress and tensions, some mistakes might happen, which will have the credibility claims will go down. So it has to be very clearly, we have to match the timeline. So funding valley of death, gap between research grant and venture capital investment that leaves early stage technologies underfunded. So generally, we have a valley of funding valley of death. So the research which are at the level of early stage, so it lacks lack of funds, but generally the fundings are very much needed for the research, but here they are having the lacunas. So the development of such materials and marketing validation will have problems, so that while commercialization, that funding will play a major role, so which has to be taken care before commercializing the product. And the skill set gap, that is, researchers excels at scientific inquiry but often lack business development. The researcher is good in doing a research and at a laboratory setup, but when it comes to the commercialization and as a business person or a business setup, so they have some they lack the technology, or they lack the techniques, the fundraising, regulatory strategy, team management, capabilities required for commercialization. These are all the skill set the researcher needs to be updated or upgraded himself, so that his commercialization, research commercialization will go in a proper way. So bridging this gap requires entrepreneurial training or mentorship programs and access to experienced business advisors, which will help the researcher to successfully commercialize their research. Thank you very much for the patience listening, and I hope I have given extensive, exclusive details over the sharing and things over the patent. So, if there is any questions are there, now it is open for a question session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. It's a beautiful presentation. Dear participants, now the floor is open for discussion. Those who want to ask your, you can ask you. You want to ask it out in the chat box also, fine for us. The resource person will answer your queries through the chat box also. Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation, dear participants. Uh, Thank you so much for actively participating. 8 days. Still, we have 4 more days, and we are happy to announce you that many colleges from Manipur are going to collaborate with us for this international faculty development program in the month of May. Meanwhile, if you also need to participate with us with your department for collaboration, do let us know. This is a 60 hours course, which will be useful for all the faculties, because we have to do one FTP course for our appraisal every year. So this certificate will be useful for you. It's a 60 hours course with a lot of knowledge we will having. So requesting sociology departments we have now. We have the departments from political science, and now we need the departments from other departments. So if you are interested in collaborating with us, particularly history department, economics department, management department, Any faculties are interested to be with, collaborate with us for this international venture, do let us know immediately so that we can do the protocols. And this time we are going with an offline institution with three places. One is in Delhi. Indira Gandhi University gave their approval. We are going to Delhi, and then we are going to Jalandhar, and then we are going to Akka, or was it Karnataka? So three parts we are going to have this event in offline mode, whereas online mode we are having also since the hybrid mode. So those who want to participate in Delhi also, please let us know. If those are coming to Delhi with us, we are converting the Delhi trip into a all India trip. After completing Delhi event, we are going to Kashmir. After going to Delhi, we are going to Kashmir for another 10 days. So we will be going by train. We will be staying in Kashmir for 5 to 6 days, and we are coming back from Kashmir to Delhi by train. So we are having this event in a grand way. Lot of events to upcoming. So connect with us. Meanwhile, if you want to collaborate with us at any point of time, definitely you are most welcome. We are here to serve you at all the aspects. Sincerely thanking you all the participants who has played their pivotal role by coming to the classes very regularly. As I told you previously, we won't take your time. Similarly, we won't give our time. So this is the policy which we have taken so far. Successfully completed day 8, and still we have 4 more days. So sincerely expecting your favorable cooperation by tomorrow, for tomorrow onwards. Tomorrow faculty is so rigid. Before she comes to class, she told me to give the host to her. So tomorrow I will be only the host. So she will be the host from tomorrow for the 3 days because she doesn't entertain the latecomers. So from tomorrow we will be start on time, but anyway she don't entertain latecomers. So please try to join the classes by 6 o'clock itself. She will start the class by 6, and she itself will end the class by 8 o'clock. So tomorrow, oh, I may not be able to do anything. I also will be in the class. So that is why I'm telling you. So please be on time, and we also will be ending on time. So thank you so much, everyone. Good night. God bless.